Okay, so welcome to this Essentials for Health Marketing Masterclass. I wanted to find out a couple of questions actually. First of all, who has a marketing plan already? One person. Okay, well, luckily on your seats you'll find that you have actually got a marketing plan, and we're going to be looking at some of that, and then you can take that away with you and work on that over the next few weeks for your businesses. And I wanted to find out also what your thoughts were on marketing. What do you think marketing is? Give us a few ideas. Is it promoting yourself? Promotion of yourself?
Find the right place.
Find the right place, the right venue, or the right positioning in the high street,
The right place to advertise.
the right place to advertise. Okay, fantastic. What else?
So,
Networking, fantastic, thank you. Yep. So finding out who your target market are and finding out how to reach them. I think in a nutshell, that sums up really well. You don't usually standing here, Stephen, absolutely. Okay, so tonight we're going to be looking at how to market ourselves and become successful therapists. Whatever our therapy, and it may be that we have more than one therapy under our belt, and the theory applies to all of them. Just looking at some of the slides, and these are also in your handouts, I think it's matching the business opportunities to the market, to the demand. So it's about finding out what the demand is for your particular therapy and matching your supply, your service to that demand. So it's about doing some research, and it's worth spending a little bit of time on doing some market research. If we think about the population in the UK, we've got 55 million people in the UK. We all know that they all need a massage or they need a therapy of some sort, but do they know? And part of our job is probably to educate them. But when we think about the 55 million people in the UK, it's worth starting to find out about different sectors of the market. Stephen mentioned about market sectors. And there's a number of different ways that we can look at that. If we look at Essentials for Health, School of Aromatherapy and Massage, we like to think of ourselves, and we're a bit biased, but we like to think of ourselves as the Rolls-Royce of the industry, actually. In terms of the service that we provide, it's very high quality, lots of attention to detail, looking after the students, good ratios of students to tutors. And so we've pitched ourselves in the top end of the market, and our prices reflect that. And that's true for your therapy also. What sector of the market are you thinking of pitching yourself at? And it's worth thinking about that and deciding who you want to focus on. So, for example, if you happen to play golf, it would be worth approaching the local golf club, because you know that market, you know those people, you know the language of the golfing range or whatever it is, the golf course. Well, you can tell I'm not a golfer. And that's going to give you a way in the door. I'm not a golfer, so it'd be much harder for me, not impossible, but harder for me to go and get myself in there. And also it's about networking, isn't it? Pamela mentioned networking. So find out who you are and find out what you do and your previous lives, your previous work, and that's going to give you an inroad into who your target market might be. But if we start to look at the population of the UK, 55 million people, that's an awful lot of people. We've got old people, young people, healthy people, not so healthy people, fit people, male, female. Who else is there? If we start to divide the population up by occupation, by lifestyle, who are they? Who are all these 55 million people? Mothers, definitely. And mothers and babies, that's probably a market for teaching some baby massage. Who else was there? Retired people. Just because people are not working doesn't mean that they don't have an income. And we know, with getting older, there can be accompanying problems, things like arthritis come to the fore. And so definitely a possible market there. Yep. What else?
You can divide into progressive-minded people, people who already tend to be interested in alternative things and therapies.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
So people who are progressively minded and are thinking that way and into alternative therapies. And I would call them warm leads. So if we're going to start marketing to the 55 million people in the country, it'd be a good idea to start with people who are very warm to complementary therapies in the first place, rather than attempting to sell to somebody who's never even heard of massage or doesn't really know the benefits. That might come later as we get more experience, but start with warm leads, and we'll look at warm leads later. Okay, so just to kick off, what I'd like you to do is to go into your groups. It's probably a good idea to work in the groups that you're sitting in. And first of all, let's think about what are you selling. Now, most of you are probably massage therapists and aromatherapists. Is that the case? And you'd say, well, Jill, I'm selling massage, or I'm selling an aromatherapy treatment. In actual fact, no, you're not. You're selling something completely different from that. If we look at what we're selling and why people buy, that will give us some helpful hints for our marketing. So you're actually selling relaxation. You're selling well-being. That's what people are going for, and they could get that from a number of different sources. And massage and aromatherapy just happen to be one way of fulfilling the need. So if we start to look a little bit more broadly at what we're selling and think about the benefits of massage and why people come, then that will really help you when you start your marketing with how you write your brochures, how you promote yourself, what you put in your articles, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to brainstorm, and then we'll feed back and see what we've come up with as a group for what are you selling. Okay, 10 minutes. So 10 minutes starts now. Okay, so welcome back. And the question I left you with was, what are you selling? So if you just want to give me some feedback, and if our scribe can write up some notes, that'd be fantastic. What are you selling? Okay, so we've got improved physical and mental well-being, quality time, definitely.
And attention, full attention.
Absolutely, so having some attention from another person, and we just don't get enough of that. So just that undivided attention of that therapist, the laying on of the hands, fantastic, absolutely. Yes, thank you. Anything else?
We're offering pampering.
Pampering, yeah.
And stress relief.
Okay, stress relief, definitely. I think that's probably one of the key reasons why people go for massage and aromatherapy these days, is we're all on this hamster wheel, this continual treadmill, running quicker than we possibly can. And we just need to have that ability to unwind and relax. And we know how wonderful that is. Massage unwinds us like a knotted up elastic band. Okay, fantastic.
As well as stress relief, pain relief.
Pain relief, definitely. I've worked with cancer patients, actually, and it's been wonderful to just offer some pain relief for a period of time. So, you know, people who are ill are a market for us, definitely, definitely. And it also gives some respite for the people who are their carers. And the carers also need a massage, definitely. So, and it may be that we look at our market, and when we do our marketing, we can structure our pricing in all sorts of different ways, but you can offer peak rates when you're charging evening rates and your higher rates, just in the same way a gym would do with peak membership and off-peak membership. You can do that with your pricing structures. So there may be that when you want to work with some people who can't afford quite so much as your top prices on a Wednesday morning, it's off-peak rate, and you can go and see the people who can't afford it quite so much. Okay, great. Anything else on your list?
Yeah, lots.
Okay, great.
Just adding to pain relief, so physical well-being, improved circulation, improved lymphatic system.
Okay, so all the benefits of massage that we know about, the improved circulation, is something we're selling. So it may well be, we know people who are on their legs all day more prone to varicose veins. So we could do leg and feet specials for who works on their feet all day? Nurses, doctors, shop assistants, teachers, hairdressers, absolutely. So if we start thinking a little bit laterally about our market and how we can promote ourselves, I suggest you have your marketing glasses on from now on, and you go out, whenever you're out in the world, anywhere, go out with your marketing glasses on and just see what other people are doing, whether it's Sainsbury's or your hairdressers or whatever, because they're paying people hundreds of thousands of pounds to be their marketing experts. And all we need to do is just borrow a few of their ideas. One idea, for example, is if you go into a supermarket, you can often smell baked bread, can't you? And there probably isn't any baked bread anywhere near the premises, but somehow they know that the smell of baked bread makes you want to buy those croissants or whatever. Marketing tool, the sense of smell. So we need to think about, how do we use the sense of smell in our marketing? Maybe, just maybe, we always have the same smell in the waiting area or in our treatment room. And then we send a reminder or a thank you card or something to our clients that's been impregnated with that smell. I mean, this is how marketing is, isn't it? But it's just those reminders, using the senses really carefully. Toast. Absolutely. So later when we look at brochures, we'll certainly use our senses to really improve our brochures. Anyway, anything else to add to our list here? A sanctuary. How lovely. So we all need a sanctuary, particularly people who live in cities, absolutely. So put that as your key words in your marketing material. Very enticing, thank you. So the language we use in our marketing is absolutely vital, that it really entices people in. What else are we selling?
We're also selling a different kind of interaction, a kind of social experience.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, Diane. Yes, a social experience.
It's a kind of a friendship.
Okay, so connection with people. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Anything else?
Selling professionalism and our qualifications.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. So people know when they come to us, because they've seen it on our business cards, that we are highly qualified and we are professionals in what we do. And that will come across in your image. So people make a decision about things very, very quickly. I mean, how long does it take to make a decision about whether you like something or you don't like something? 2 seconds. And this can happen over the telephone as well as visually. You know, people can make their minds up about you very, very quickly on the telephone. So we need to think about our image. Part of marketing is our image and how we promote ourselves, how we look, how we sound, how approachable we are. So absolutely we're selling our professionalism and our services in a professional way. Fantastic. What else are we selling? Okay, the chance to clear your mind. A lot of people don't know how to do that anymore. People don't know how to switch off and relax. I can remember giving my dad a massage, and the very first time he had a massage from me, he said, that's the first time I've ever relaxed without a cigarette. So we need to help these people who don't know how to clear the mind. And it may take a few massages for them to get to that stage, but definitely it's absolutely vital for our physical and mental well-being. What else? It's like a tailor-made package for that person. It's personalised. So that's something to put into your promotion, is that, you know, the treatment will be personalised to your individual needs. Oh, there's a nice line for you. Just take that one, put it in your brochures. Absolutely. What else? What else are we selling? So we're selling health, actually, aren't we? Because if we reduce people's stress, if we reverse the stress cycle, we know that we're going to help people's health. So we're selling good health, actually, and preventative health care, most definitely. Great. One or two more before we move on.
We've got a safe environment.
Safe environment, yes. And it's more than an environment, it's a sanctuary. So absolutely, wonderful. Yeah, definitely, thank you. Positivity, great. The worries and concerns that people came into your therapy room burdened with, their shoulders are heavy, you know, they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders. When they leave, they are floating on cloud 9, completely different people. So you're changing their frame of mind. That's what you're selling. Fantastic. So, you know, just in 10 minutes, you've probably filled several brochures with information, and there's a lot more. So thank you. Your next task is to think about who your competitors are. And I mentioned to you my dad being a smoker. He's now a non-smoker, But he was a smoker. And if we think about our competitors, then cigarettes would be a big competitor. So it's not the therapist down the road who we're competing with, because I truly believe with the universal law, there's enough out there for everybody. You know, we don't need to compete with other therapists. I'm of the view that we should actually be working in collaboration with people rather than in competition. But if we look at competitors, and I do use that word, we do have competitors like cigarettes, because people use a cigarette for relaxation, and we know that's what we're selling. Smokers are spending 38 million on trying, and I use the word trying, it says on helping, but I'm not entirely convinced it works, on helping to kick the habit. So that was, I think you can get them on the National Health Service now, but that was your Nicorette patches and your chewing gum. £38 million on chewing gum and patches. Now, if they're spending £38 million on attempting to give up smoking, what are they spending on smoking? I mean, it must be billions. And so if we think that there isn't the money out there for our treatments, then think again, because there is. There's at least 38 million just floating around being sold on chewing gum, which I think should be coming this way. So that gives you an idea who our competitors are. Cigarettes, possibly saunas, another competitor. Again, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to go back into your groups and brainstorm, and then we'll feed back again and see what we've come up with. So 10 more minutes to do some more brainstorming. Who are your competitors now? Okay. Okay. So welcome again, and thanks for working so hard on finding out who our competitors are. And again, if you could just feed back to me, and we'll put them up on a list. Who are our competitors? Off-license. It's alcohol. Definitely. How many people go home and not only light the cigarette, but fill the glass? And we've all done it, you know, I'm sure. So yes, definitely, people need alcohol to unwind from a busy day, but far better for them would be to go and have some massage or aromatherapy after their hard day at work. Okay, thank you. What else? Retail therapy. So shopping, the high street. Now, when we start to look at who our competitors are, it'll start to give us some clues of where to promote ourselves. Now, obviously, advertising in the high street might be an expensive thing to do, but it'll start to just jog our creative brain to think, well, where can we promote ourselves? I don't know. You've got to be cheeky about this. You've got to just put yourself out there and ask the question. It never hurts to ask the question. But what if you went down to your local off-licence? What if you did that? What would be the worst thing that could happen when you said, can I leave my business cards here? They could say no, and you'd still live to see another day. They could say yes. You never know. You never know. And it's just about being cheeky. If you want to take it just a step further, you offer the owner of the off-licence a free treatment, possibly. It's about putting yourself out there, being cheeky, asking the questions. Because you'll find that people in your community become your mouthpiece, your advertising campaign for you. I can remember giving the local gossip in my local community a massage. She paid for it, but she just spent time talking on street corners to people, going into the shops. I got the manager of Woolworths, I got the librarian, all coming for a massage thanks to this wonderful lady. So find out, you know, who the local mouthpieces are in your community and get them working for you. But back to who our competitors are. A little digression there. Who are our competitors? Chocolate. Chocolate, comfort food. Chocolate and comfort food. Don't know how we work with that one in terms of using that to our advantage, apart from, I don't know, maybe we could just incorporate a little bit of chocolate into our treatment. I don't know. Have you ever been to, you've got to be imaginative here, but have you ever been to a hotel, really nice hotel, and then you've gone out for dinner and you come back and there's this little square of chocolate on your pillow?
Yes.
And isn't it the most wonderful piece of chocolate you've ever had in your whole life? So, so I don't know, but we've got to start. That is marketing though, isn't it? That is marketing. That's going beyond service to exceptional service. And that is marketing. It's how people will remember you. They'll remember you for, I don't know, coming out of that massage and there's this little piece of chocolate there or whatever it is, or this little bottle of oil just for them to take home, or a little sachet of lavender in a little lavender bag. You can make it your own way, but what if they went to lie on the couch and there's this beautiful little sachet of lavender lying there? That is marketing, because that makes you unique and very special in terms of your product. But again, I digress. So we go back to our competitors. And who are our competitors?
Beauty parlours and hairdressers.
Okay, so beauty salons and hairdressers, absolutely. People go for a haircut, but it's also they're getting a pampering. They get maybe a head massage under the shower when they're having their hair washed. But again, hairdressers, if you think about who talks to people all day long, it's hairdressers, isn't it? So what about giving that hairdresser in your local community a free massage? Because if she or he really thought you were the bee's knees, they're bound to say to the next client they're cutting their hair, oh, I had this most wonderful massage yesterday. And then so it goes. Great recommendation.
But,
yes.
but also, like my local hairdresser, they have massage in the
Right,
past,
right.
so they don't necessarily have to be competitors. It could be
Right.
something where you can work with
them.
It's, you know,
Absolutely, in collaboration.
possibility.
Absolutely, definitely, absolutely. We'll look at how we can network and work in collaboration with other people later on. So that's great, thank
Same
you.
with health clubs and gyms.
Right.
All seem to have beauty parlours on site.
Yes, absolutely.
On site.
So health clubs and gyms may be competitors of ours, but they're also very likely to be attracting our market. If people are interested in looking after their health through their exercise regime, they're very likely to be interested in looking after their health for a massage or a aromatherapy treatment. Now, when I first started Essentials for Health, I was very much based in a local community in East London, and I had a poster site. It was about, one of these A2 posters. I had a poster site within my local health club. I paid, I don't know, a few £100 a year to hire this poster site. You know the cases, you know what I mean? The poster cases. Put a poster in there, changed it regularly, because that's important, because people, when they get used to it, don't see it anymore. So you change it once a month with new campaigns, new pictures, what have you. Got a lot of business from it. So again, look at who your competitors are and see how you can use that to your advantage. Great. Okay, any more competitors?
Medicinal and recreational drugs.
Okay, so drugs, and of any description, yes, definitely. And we know that that would actually be a great market for us. People who are coming off drugs get terrible withdrawal symptoms. And there is enough evidence, I think, to show that massage and aromatherapy could help lessen the severity of the drug withdrawal symptoms. So again, we want to start working in partnership. We start going through the yellow pages and looking at drug agencies, all that sort of thing, and say, hey, have you thought about offering massage? And there is funding around for these sorts of projects. It may be you don't have to work directly with this particular market, and you may well get paid directly by the service providers. One of my successful graduates, she went through the yellow pages under the charities section, and she wrote to 200 charities, which takes some doing. There's a lot of stamps to stick on. But she took it a step further, and this is where marketing is so important. She took it a step further and she phoned them all. And she may have phoned them all several times. And the result was, out of those 200, she got 2 to say yes, they would love to have massage for their clients. And so too, that's a 1% success rate, isn't it? But that is enough success to set her up in business. And she got paid by the service providers, these charities that work with people with all sorts of diseases, disorders, as a massage therapist on a part-time basis. So again, it's about putting yourself out there and being persistent with your marketing. With marketing, you've got to put it out there and expect some of it to come back, and be excited about what comes back and not worry about what doesn't. That doesn't matter. What comes back is what's important, and some will come back, definitely. I always say it's like sowing seeds, You just got to keep sowing those seeds. When you go and put your seeds in your garden, you know that not all the seeds are going to grow. So you put lots down, don't you? And it's the same with the marketing, planting, and continuing your planting. You don't just do the marketing campaign once. It's a continual process to be a successful therapist. Fantastic. What else do we have as our competitors? So how people budget and how they choose to spend their money, and they might choose it on fitness but not on massage. They might choose, people will spend £30 on a meal, won't they? And yet, sorry?
Or even the
theatre ticket. And yet to spend £30 on a massage is a stretch for people. And we'll look at why later on. But there are very real reasons why. And then we need to look at how we can educate to say, hey, the massage benefits will last far longer than the meal, which, is actually probably not going to do you so much good health-wise.
Time restrictions?
Time restrictions, absolutely. People just don't have enough time. People don't have enough time to eat properly, let alone look after themselves with a massage, and to be able to sort of justify that massage, definitely. Yeah, anything else?
Habit.
Habit. In what way would habit be a competitor?
I always go to a problem Fridays.
Okay, so,
To sort of break that mindset.
right.
That we all always go to.
Okay, so people start to develop habits. We are creatures of habit. A lot of people I work with my stress management training, for example, all they want to do at the end of the day is be a couch potato and put the television on. So television, did you have television on the list? Big competitor. And we know that it's not necessarily healthy for us. Okay, all right, something over here. Families, demanding our time? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. And also there's that factor sometimes that people can feel guilty about looking after themselves and nurturing themselves and pampering themselves. And again, it's for us to educate who benefits from a healthy, happy us, our family and our friends. It'd be about quality time. I think it's far better to have a little less time with family and friends and have quality time than have time with them where it's always at loggerheads and we're always irritable and we don't want to communicate well. So again, educating the public that it's fine to pamper yourself, it's fine to nurture yourself. Everybody benefits, friends and family, colleagues. Fantastic. Okay, well, you've worked really hard on that. That's great. We're going to look at marketing tools and developing our marketing tools now. And in your files, I talk about, or in your handouts, I talk about using warm leads and hot leads and avoiding something called the Wally box. If we look at the box for a minute, you can see that we talk about existing markets and existing products, new markets and existing products, new products and existing markets. And then the Wally box is the place to avoid. And that would be you or me or anybody out there in business attempting to promote a new product to a new market. Now, I once made the mistake of attempting to do this. Several years ago, Essentials for Health devised the idea, and in our opinion it was a wonderful idea, of weekend stress breaks. So very, very different from a school of massage and aromatherapy. Very different market. Somebody who would want to go on a weekend stress break would be very different from somebody who wanted to go on a massage course. And we were attempting to promote this new product to a new market, and it just went, pear-shaped. It completely didn't work for us. So especially when you're starting off and you haven't got a lot of capital to back a new market in a new product in a new market, then don't go there. People like Richard Branson, he's got billions of pounds to take the risk of going into a new market with a new product. But for you, I'd suggest you stay, for now, in existing markets with existing products. So at the moment, your existing products are your therapy services. So go into warm markets that are out there already. And we've already discussed them when we've looked at our competitors and what we're selling. It's the people who've got interest in looking after their health, people who've got interest in nurturing themselves, people who've got interest in pampering themselves, or possibly somebody who's got a bit of a problem, so tight shoulder, lower back pain. Those sorts of people that have got a need are fairly warm. Okay, and that's who we should be marketing to. Now the next question for you is, how do we do this? What tools do we use to market to our warm market? And again, I'm going to get you to do all the work, and I'm going to get you to go back into your groups yet again and look at your marketing tools. Let me give you some examples to start with, though. A marketing tool would be a brochure. At Essentials for Health, we've got brochures. It would be a website, if you had a website. It would be using the media to get an article. So, a few ideas there for marketing tools. Get back another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll really look at our marketing tools. And I think this is one of the key things to get you to be successful as therapists. So 10 minutes, and I'll come back in 10 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to now look at our marketing tools. And it may be when you first start up in business, you haven't got a huge budget for all of this. But a lot of it we can do for free. And that's the good news. So let's find out what you've got. I've got a huge list in front of me, so anything you don't mention will probably be on my list anyway. But what did you come up with in terms of marketing tools? How can we get ourselves out there to our markets?
Friends, families, colleagues.
Okay, so it's using these mouthpieces again, our friends, family and colleagues. So when we start our massage business, our aromatherapy business, the chances are you won't have a huge amount of money, but you'll have a lot of spare time. And so it would be worth giving key people a free massage. And friends, family, colleagues are likely to be key people. But if we think of other key people in the community, we've spoken about the hairdresser, the local gossip, people who come into contact on a regular basis with the public. We can start to then use them to promote us. Just for 2 minutes, what I'd like you to do actually, just for 2 minutes, is jot down key people in your community who you could tomorrow or next week offer a free massage to, and know that it's possible that you could get some referrals from. People like your local osteopath, quite likely that you could get some massage. Maybe even your local dentist. I don't know. Would it be worth, people who've got a fear of dentists, would it be worth them having a massage before they went to the dentist? Who knows? Again, we've just got to be really, really imaginative, creative, and always have our marketing glasses on. So just for 2 minutes, actually, I want you to jot down at least 20 key people. Now there's a stretch for you, but let's stretch and go beyond. Let's stretch 20 key people. Jot them down now. It's a stretch, isn't it? I can see some of these lists growing. Fantastic. And the challenge is to action this. List is no good without the action. So, need a show of hands. Who's committed to contacting 5 of those people in the next week? Because that's what it's all about. There's no point in having the ideas without the action behind them. Really important. We have to see our marketing plan through. We can't just have a marketing plan. Okay, and it's about being playful with this. I know you may be a little bit nervous about this, a little bit reticent about doing this. But if you imagine them to be your long-lost friend before you make that call, it makes it much, much easier. And if you just ask permission, do you mind if I call you? I'm looking to promote my massage therapy business, and I'd love to give you a free massage. That takes 20 seconds, and then what's the worst that can happen? They say no. That is the absolute worst thing that can happen. But if you don't put out that question, you'll never know the answer, and your business will never grow as well as it should do. So it's about going beyond our comfort zones, and that's a huge personal growth opportunity, actually, to go beyond our comfort zone. Anyway, that's a whole nother workshop, to go beyond Buzz Lightyear and all that. Anyway, let's go back to our marketing tools. What do we have? Existing clients, absolutely. You know, they will be wonderful mouthpieces for us. So it might be nice to offer them a reward. So, or at least a thank you. If you know that somebody came to you because one of your clients recommended you, they just feel so special when you actually phone up and say, I really want to thank you for that. I really appreciate it, and it's helping my business. They'd appreciate it even more if you said, I really want to thank you for that, and I'd love to give you a free massage. Okay, it's going to take an hour of your time, or maybe you just give them a half hour, but they will be very encouraged to do that again. So it's, you know, rewarding is worth doing, definitely. Okay, who else? Existing clients? Doesn't have to be people, we're talking about tools. So remember I mentioned the brochures, the websites. What other tools have we got?
Writing.
Editorial, fantastic. So getting some features in your local papers, and maybe even the national ones. So the media is very powerful, far more powerful than any advert will be. Why? Because it's got somebody's endorsement. The person who wrote this, the journalist who wrote this, she wrote it in her own words about how good the workshop was. And the reader will believe her. The same with your massage therapies or your aromatherapies. Get the journalist to write in their own words, and the readers will just lap it up. And because it's been recommended by somebody who's legitimate, the writer of the local paper, it's a powerful endorsement for you. So go out there and get noticed in your local papers. It's a good idea to get some photographs taken. So if you wrote a letter and you sent it with some photographs, they don't have to do any work. The next thing you could do is actually write the article for them. Then they can go and have a holiday. Quite seriously, write the article for them. Send the photo, and you know they're going to be delighted that they haven't got to fill that space next week. And who knows, you know, the world really is your oyster when you start putting your creative hat on and your cheeky hat on. So we need our marketing glasses, our creative hat, and a lot of cheek. Okay, so what other tools do we have?
Come to the workshop, redeemable against the massage.
Oh, great. Okay, that's great. So you run a workshop in massage and you charge a fee for it, but then they can use that fee against a treatment. So £5 for the massage workshop, and then they can use that £5 towards the massage treatment. That's great, and we'll look at why that's great later on. Okay, we'll come back to that, so that's fantastic. What else? What else? Presentations. I think presentations are a brilliant way of getting yourself promoted. Again, it's not going to cost you anything other than your time, maybe a little bit of time and effort on drawing up some good materials and visuals. But other than that, it's a really great way because people are more likely to buy from you if they've met you. Because it's such a personal service, much more likely if they've met you to feel comfortable and safe with you, particularly with massage and aromatherapy. Fantastic. Anything else on the tools list before I go to my list?
Advertising.
Advertising, absolutely. It is expensive. I don't know if it's that effective for massage therapists. I don't advertise. At Essentials for Health, we have a zero advertising budget. We do not advertise. In the past, I have, We've always monitored our advertising to see what's coming back to us in terms of business from that advert. And it's never ever really recouped what we've spent on the advert.
Health shops?
Health shops, so getting your leaflets into your health shops and things, absolutely. And we're going to look at our brochures, and we'll look at brochures and make sure that they're the ones that stick out. So when somebody goes into a health food shop, they want to pick up a leaflet on massage, yours is the one that's saying yes. Okay. What else? What else? So again, being creative, a raffle prize in your local school bazaar, your local charity, your local fetes. When I first started in business, I used to have little stalls in the local school fetes and give 10-minute neck and shoulder massage and give out my business cards, obviously, and people have met me, people have felt the massage, people come back, definitely.
There's quite a few computer and telephone exhibitions, and they have on-site masseurs there all the
Right,
time.
absolutely. So people are beginning to see it as a legitimate and professional service, definitely. Great. Anything else? Any other marketing tools? Somebody mentioned the internet, and I heard Stephen talking about massageworld.com. Is that right?
I think it's massagetherapy.
Massagetherapy.com, is it? Yes.
They got my name from you, didn't they, originally? Or not? I don't know.
I don't know.
I got a client from them the other day.
Fantastic, fantastic. So getting your name, you don't have to have your own website, but you could get listed on other websites. So massagetherapy.com is one, purplehealth.com is another, and you'll get listed, and then people can type in massage therapists in East Finchley or Outer Hebrides, wherever it is, and you know, if you're there, you'll come up. Often free, often doesn't cost you, or just a nominal amount. What other tools do we have? It may well be worth joining more than one association. If you find that you're getting referrals back, your association fees may be £50, but if you've got one client coming once a month at £30 a month, that's £360. You've got your £50 back and made a £310 profit. So absolutely. So the associations are out there to work for you if you use them. It's a good idea to ask other therapists. So if I was going to go into Yellow Pages, maybe with an advert or with just a line, I would actually phone some other therapists who are already in there, possibly in a slightly different therapy rather than in an aromatherapy or massage world. But I'd phone them up, say, oh, I see you're in Yellow Pages. Have you had any business from that? Or your local paper would probably be the most appropriate for you. Just see if those adverts are working for other people. Okay, let me go through my list. Certainly things like exhibitions. We've mentioned doing the local school fetes and things, but exhibitions, you find there's lots of health exhibitions around these days locally. For example, in Reading, there's one local to me. And it might be worth having a table there, a stand there. So you'll get your money back that you invest on the exhibition stand by giving the treatments on the stand. And again, you'll get people to just sample a little bit what you offer. Give out your business cards. Make sure you don't move from the area. Stay in the area you've just done your exhibition in. Okay, what else have I got? Things like getting recommendations, endorsements are all part of the tool. So if you get somebody who's just had the most wonderful massage and they're just, you know, they're drooling because it's just been so fantastic, then maybe get them to write just a little line or two lines to endorse what you do. As an example, I've just got one here that I used in our last newsletter. So this is a genuine one from a woman who wrote to me. I asked her permission. I think it's a good idea to ask permission, but it was about this very same session, and I got this email from her saying that it was, you know, this marketing masterclass was excellent and was truly the kickstart she needed. And thanks for the inspiring day. So those sorts of words, they're genuine words, so they appear in here. Have you seen it? With her permission. But I'm using her as an endorsement with her permission. And again, it just makes it more powerful if you've got real life people endorsing your product or your service. Great. Okay. Okay, any more marketing tools?
Seasonal promotions.
Seasonal promotions, fantastic. Okay, so it's coming up to Christmas, unfortunately, or fortunately. I can't believe we're already near Christmas. It's only 2 months away. But now would be the time to start saying, oh, forget going out shopping. Buy people a massage. This would be the time to do that. Okay. What other seasonal promotions are there? And what other anniversaries and things are there? Valentine's Day and birthdays, wedding anniversaries, Mother's Day. Absolutely. So we just look out onto the high street. We see the florists. We could offer what the florists offer in terms of a really lovely treat for somebody. Yes.
Pre-wedding.
Pre-wedding.
A colleague and I were thinking of offering mother and bride and mother of the bride together.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Haven't done it yet.
Okay. Well, let's take a break, and then we'll come back. And that'll be a time to start looking at our brochures and our business cards. So let's take a break. If you want to go away, can I just do a time check? Okay, so welcome back. And just looking at our marketing tool, the brochure, I want you to think about how people experience the world. How do they get information about the world? What is it that through? It's their senses, isn't it? It's their senses. We wouldn't know anything about the world without our sense of sight, sense of sound, sense of touch, and to a lesser extent, smell and taste. So, with our brochures, we need to make sure that as many of the senses appeal or are appealing to as many different people as possible through our brochures. And many people have different senses predominating. So some people are very visual. They just respond to visual things very, very quickly. Other people are auditory. The sound of things is important to them. And for some of us, particularly probably massage therapists, we're touchy-feely people. The sense of touch is our predominant sense. And you'll find that most people in the world have a predominant sense. Well, they might have a combination of two. I'm visual and touchy-feely. So with our brochures, we want to make sure that we appeal to a broad spectrum of the market. So visually, they really need to stand out from the crowd. And I'll use the Essentials for Health poster to give you an example of what I mean by that. This is visually very appealing for most people, largely because of the colour. Now, I chose purple as our corporate colour, and I think when you're going into marketing yourself, you want to start thinking about having a corporate image and corporate colours that run through everything you do. So your walls would be coloured in the same way, your towels would be the same colour. The uniform, it might not be that colour, but you just have a little splash of it somewhere, maybe a little bit of trimming or a badge with some of that colour in it. So people start to see that colour and associate that colour with you. I chose purple as our corporate colour, or one of our two corporate colours, because to me it says royalty. It says very high quality. If you think about, I don't know, the crown that the Queen puts on, I'm sure it's got some purple velvet in there or something, hasn't it? So people can start to associate purple with quality. And this is how we work on a very subtle level with people, on a subconscious level. The messages that we're putting out are taken in subconsciously, not knowingly always, but subconsciously. I then wanted, we've got peach as our other colour, and I wanted a flesh tone, and we started with browns. I wanted to have a flesh tone that wasn't going to be white, it wasn't going to be black, it was just going to be a sort of flesh tone that would represent all the colours in the world and all the races in the world. But we started off with brown, and it just didn't work with unfortunately the purple. So we actually went with peach to represent skin tones and things. And we're looking at that all the time and deciding whether we want to stick with that. But at the moment, we're going with this sort of logo. This one, it draws you in. The curve of the hand kind of draws people in. And we're going to redesign our logo and brochures and things, and we'll probably have the writing going along the curve of the body to draw people in. Now, when you look at your layout of your business cards, your flyers, your promotional material, it's actually a very good idea to have things pointing upwards in a positive way. So if things are going from left to right in an upward direction, somehow that pulls people in, and it's a very positive and powerful statement. I've got Julie's card, and Julie's agreed for me to talk about her card to you. And she has used the butterfly as her logo in the corner. And so that is pulling you up, but I think it would be better to have the typing, the typeface, the words starting in this corner and going up towards the butterfly. So they finish at the butterfly and they finish it upward. And it would give it more balance. At the moment, that butterfly is pulling the card out of balance. It's more balanced if we actually cover the butterfly. So just to give it a bit more balance, she wants to think about the layout of it. So layout is important for us visual people as well as colours. What's also important is texture, bearing in mind that a lot of people who are going to come from massage or aromatherapy are going to be touchy-feely people. Then we want touchy-feely cards. Now, unfortunately, you might not be able to tell, but this card has been embossed. So this is giving me some sort of satisfaction to feel it. It's a touchy-feely card. It's embossed. It's also silver, which is silver is a quality colour. Silver and golds are always good to use. They suggest quality. So that's another thing to think about, the touch and feel of your material. So often we see flyers out there that are just on photocopied paper. And unfortunately, they're probably doing whoever put that out there a huge disservice, particularly in the massage and aromatherapy worlds, because there's no touch to that. And people who come from massage are likely to be touchy-feely people. It's going to turn them off rather than turn them on. So think about good quality card and good quality paper and a feel to it. Some of these shiny papers have a nice, satisfying feel to it. The other sense that we want to look at is the words that we use for the auditory people. So the words that you use on your brochure need to be singing and calling people in. They need just to be luring people in and singing to people, saying, come and receive a massage from me. And so when you look at how you write your material, you might want to get a copywriter or somebody to check it and make sure it's written is in a powerful, effective way that's really going to sing your praises. Now, Essentials for Health, we put all of our material through the mill. We test it and we test it again. We're going through that process now. It's a lengthy process. So I've been looking at a new logo and a new brochure for a couple of months now, and it'll probably take me about another 3 months for me to decide on our new image. So it's a lengthy process, and in that process, I will consult with a lot of people, and a lot of it I will get for free because I will do a favour for somebody or barter and give them a free massage. It doesn't have to be costly, but I would recommend you talk to a designer to get some design ideas. Even if you end up doing the design yourself, get some design ideas. So get friendly with designers. Ask your friends, do you know a designer who's willing to talk to me? Be surprised. People are actually flattered if you ask for their opinion. So you don't always have to pay for it initially. Talk to somebody who's a copywriter or somebody who writes for a magazine or whatever, who can help you with the writing. And then put it out and test it. Send it out to friends and family and strangers and say, what do you think of this card? Please give me an honest opinion. I'm just about to invest so many hundreds of pounds in this. I really want it to work for me. What do you think? And make sure they give you an honest opinion, because what you think is great and is really clear and makes perfect sense may well do to you, but not to other people. So make sure it's tested, proofread, and checked over, so that when you do go to the investment phase of writing that cheque to that printer, you know that that product that he's going to produce for you is going to do you a really great service. And you can produce one card, get a big run of them. If you've got it right, you get a big run of them, and they'll last you, you know, a few years. I always get a run of things that last us 3 years. So get it right, and then you can do a good long run on them, and it'll be cost effective for you. Okay, so brochures are, and marketing with our business cards is a really important part, and I'd suggest you get lots and lots of them done, so you don't feel like, oh no, you know, I've only got 130 left. You know, that is not the mentality you want to be having with your business cards. You want thousands of them so that you are spreading them like confetti, all right? And you don't care who has them, and you give people 6 and say, keep one for yourself and give 5 to your friends. So you don't want a shortage of these marketing tools going out to do the work for you, to promote you. So we've looked at how to get some business through our marketing tools. We now need to look at how to keep the business, to keep those hot leads. They've become sizzling hot leads. They've come to us, they've had a massage, they've had some aromatherapy. What are we going to do to make sure they stay our clients? Okay, so again in your groups, just brainstorm for 5 minutes this time. How are you going to keep your clients and keep them sizzling hot? Okay. Welcome back. This is great because you're doing all the work. So this is how to run a successful business, is to get all the other people doing the work for you. And that's so true of your marketing too. So back to how to get repeat business, how to keep those hot leads that have had a massage. How do we get them to come back and come on a regular basis, or being well? What ideas did you have? Right, okay, so like those cards where you get stamped at the coffee shop, you buy 5 coffees and you get the 6th one free. You could do the same with the massage, and that way they're going to really keep that card. Do you remember I was saying how you want them to cherish your business card? That business card is worth money, absolutely. So definitely going to be cherishing that one. That's fantastic. Great, thank you. What else did we have in terms of getting people to come back for a treatment? If you don't ask, you don't get. I used to have the Alexander technique on a regular basis. Every week she would come get her diary out at the end of the session and say, same time next week, Jill? And I would say yes. But she was doing me a huge service. She was keeping my back in great health, actually. So one time I forgot to take my diary and I said, oh, I'll phone you. Did I phone? It took me ages and ages and ages to get round to making that phone call. So I actually think if we see it as doing somebody a service, who here believes that their therapy is absolutely vital in maintaining a balanced and healthy lifestyle? Let's have a show of hands. So if we didn't ask for that next treatment, we'd be doing that person a huge disservice, because they wouldn't gain the benefits, the wonderful healing benefits of the treatments that we can give. So you owe it to your clients, because they'll be in a sleepy state and a little bit disorientated. You owe it to them, if you see it that way. What else can we do to keep the business? Okay, so an invitation, that's nice. An invitation's always nice, to have something done on a card, to bring a friend, and then you get a 10% discount. Very nice, very nice. What else? Reminders that you're still around. One of the reasons we do newsletters, we do it twice a year, is to remind people we're still around, because a lot of our business comes from referrals. So we want to remind people we're still around so they continue to refer us. So absolutely, absolutely. Birthday cards, or maybe you've just devised a new treatment, or you've got a special offer on or something, then you send out and mail out to people. And with the internet now, you could use the internet to email to people, and that wouldn't cost you anything other than some time. Okay, what else? Okay, so they book a course of treatments, yeah, so 6 treatments, and they book and they pay up front. So you get the money in advance, which has to be a big plus. And you know that they're going to come back. They've paid for it. Okay? Okay. Anything else in terms of getting repeat business? Special offers is possibly one. If things are a little bit slow, summertime maybe, a little bit slow, people don't have so much time for massage, they're going on holidays. How about doing a summer special? all those sorts of things. Again, put your marketing glasses on, go out and see what other businesses are doing in terms of promotions, sales, whatever, and borrow their ideas. So sometimes I feel a little bit reluctant to call somebody, so I'll use an excuse. I'll phone up. Oh, I just wanted to see if you want to stay on our database. Or, you know, you can use an excuse to call just to make that connection again. And more times than often, oh yes, please keep me on, I really like getting your newsletters. So a newsletter is another tool for you, isn't it? Maybe once every 6 months or once a year, do a Christmas newsletter to all your clients, just to keep the connection. The research has shown that people need about 5 hits before they make a buying decision. 5 hits, 5 marketing hits before they make a buying decision. So for example, I have to use Essentials for Health because that's my only example in business. It's the only business I've ever been in. People will ask for a brochure and they get a really nice reception when they phone. Usually on the telephone we have a positive phone policy, if you like, of always being friendly and warm on the telephone. I hope you found that to be true. So that's the first hit. They've had a nice experience and we've added to their day to be talking to them. Then they get the brochure, that's the second hit. Then they get my phone call or somebody else's phone call to make sure they receive the brochure, that's the third hit. Then they may come and visit us teaching, that's the 4th hit. Then if they do visit us teaching, they may get another phone call, or they might get an email, or they'll get a newsletter. So people get 5 pieces of information from us. And you might find that you need to be that persistent with your clients, and with your prospective clients also. They make a call, but they're still not sure. So always be sure to get their address from them. Even if they've made a telephone call that's quite tentative, if you had a flyer saying what all the benefits of massage were and saying, oh, you might not be sure about a massage yet, but if I send you an informational leaflet about the benefits of massage, maybe that'll help you to decide. Then you've got their address. You've got the follow-up for more marketing, but you're also doing a service. You're giving them free information about the benefits of massage. Okay, so let's move on to keeping these clients by adding value. And this is what's going to make you really unique from any other therapist. What's going to make you very, very different from other therapists. And again, I'd like you to spend 5 minutes in your groups looking at how you can add value. So for example, I heard Stephen talking, and I've experienced this myself, of somebody, as I go to lie on the couch, they lay on these gloriously heated towels that have been on the radiator. And that is just Rolls Royce treatment as far as I'm concerned. The heavy, high quality Egyptian cotton towels, beautiful colour, and then they've been heated. You know, that's worth an awful lot more money to me in terms of my nurturing, my well-being, my pampering. You know, why is it that some people will go to hairdressers and spend £10 and other people go and have probably a similar haircut, maybe slightly better, but they'll pay £50 for it? What is the difference? I think it's the little extras, the little attentions to detail that make you the royalty in terms of therapists. So what can you do to add value? And the other one is, how can you increase your product range and get more value from your clients? So for examples, if you were to stock the CDs that you play, somebody will say, oh, what's that lovely music? And you say, oh, it's so and so and so and so and so and so. They've got to go round the high street, trogging round, trying to find it. And the chances are these new age CDs aren't available in the high street. So they've spent the whole lunch hour not being able to get it. What if you said, well, here it is. You can buy it from me. It's a service, and it's actually worth, I would rather pay an extra £1 for that than spend my lunch hour trogging around the high street and not getting it. So you can get these at discounted wholesale prices, and then you can charge, whatever price you want to charge, the retail price or a little bit extra for the service you're providing. So how are you going to add value for 5 minutes? And then how are you going to increase your product range to get more value from your clients? So back to your groups, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, so back to adding value and increasing our product range. First of all, let's start with adding value. What can we do to make ourselves so different and so wonderful? Give me some ideas. Okay, so the ambience of the room and the treatment room and the lighting that you use, definitely. This room has a very different feel to that room because the lighting is different, absolutely. Yeah. Fresh flowers. Remembering the sense of smell is going to be quite important for people also. Have you ever smelt something and it's brought back memories? I just need to smell suntan lotion and I get a holiday feeling. I don't need to get on that plane, Yes, it does. It certainly does. Now, the sense of smell is very close, those of you who are aromatherapists know, it's very close to our memory, our limbic system in the brain. So smells act as anchors. So, as I was saying earlier, if we always had the same smell in the room, if that was appropriate, maybe not for aromatherapy, but if we were to use smells in a certain way, they become anchors, and then people will associate that smell with you. Okay, so they only need to walk into a room with it and they think, oh yes, aromatherapy treatment. Okay, so scented flowers definitely will add visually and to the sense of smell. What else? So burning some essential oils adds to the ambience of the room and it adds to the therapeutic value of the treatment, definitely. So giving people choice about all sorts of things in terms of their treatment today. I can remember going to have a treatment with one of my graduates, and he'd come on the marketing workshop, and at the end of my massage I had a choice of all sorts of different bottles of drink, Aqua Libra or sparkling water, and he brought it on this beautiful tray, and there's this lovely glass, and even just drinking out of a nice glass makes a difference. Doesn't cost us much, but it makes a difference. It makes me as the client feel very, very special. And I want more of this. Thank you very much. So making the place really safe in sorts of ways. The privacy being respected, so maybe having some screens as well to undress behind. The couch being safe. I know people who've invested a lot of money in their couches, but they are these wonderful, squashy, sink in, you don't know when you're going to stop sinking couches, they're just so comfortable. The foam on them is really thick. And that makes a big difference to if you're lying there for an hour and a half, to have this really wonderful couch. So it might be, as part of the Rolls Royce, you have a Rolls Royce couch for people to lie on, definitely. Things like having parking for your clients. That adds value. If somebody spends 3 hours going around the block to looking for parking space, that is not adding value. Telling them where the parking is, all those sorts of things are really important, and their attention to detail. And this, if you had it on your flyer where the car parks were, this is caring, this is care, this is concern, this is professional. Okay, so what about the product range? What can we do to increase our product range? Anything we thought of other than selling CDs? Anything else we could sell?
Wheaty cushions.
Wheaty cushions. Wheaty cushions are these cushions you put in the microwave, are they? That you put around your aching neck and shoulders or your lower back or whatever. Okay, great. So that's another product.
Personalised blends of oils?
Absolutely. You can personalise the blends of the oils, definitely. That's another way of adding value, actually. Somebody says, oh, thank you, that's a lovely massage. And you say, well, here's your personal blend I've just made for you to take away. And it also happens to have your logo and your telephone number on it. It's a great way of reminding. It's in the bathroom. They see it every morning. Great reminder for them to come back to you. But yes, if you make a blend of oils that's special to them and sell it, definitely. Creams, books. Sorry? crystals, all of those things, workshops, courses. If they happen to ask where they could train in massage or aromatherapy, we would give you a thank you fee for that. So that's a possibility also. And maybe even you could start teaching your own workshops, broadening what you do, as well as broadening the range of therapies that you offer. So if you have more therapies to offer, you're broadening your client range and your business. You know, I don't want any more massage, but I am looking for a reflexologist now. Do you know one? Yeah, I just qualified actually. You know, you can keep your clients in those ways. Okay, fantastic. Well, we've worked really hard. We've got a couple more things to go through. And one is the fact that when you sell a service, it's intangible. Okay, now what do I mean? I'm just going to take that off again. What do I mean by something being intangible? It means you can't sample it easily. If you go into Boots, you can smell the shampoo or the perfume. If you go down to the car showroom, you can get the keys to that car and you can test drive it. It's not so easy to sample a service before you actually pay for that service. And it makes massage in particular and aromatherapy a little bit more of a risk. People don't know what they're letting themselves in for. And they might be a little bit nervous, there's a little bit of anxiety about undressing and all those sorts of things. And they don't know what sort of quality of work they're going to receive from you. So, in answer to your question about how can you get people to invest the £30 that they might spend in a meal or in a haircut, how can we persuade them to invest it in a massage instead? I think the best way is to offer them a free trial. And you'll see this, if you look out into the world with your marketing eyes, you'll see it coming through your letterbox. Do you remember what came through the letterbox? The pyramid tea bags. Or what comes into our magazines, women's magazines, the smell strips of the perfume. It's a way of us sampling things without any commitment, without any money exchanging hands. So I highly recommend that you offer people a 15-minute trial. And that way there's no risk. If they absolutely hate it, they haven't risked too much. You could even do it fully clothed so that they're not going to have to be vulnerable. And you might want to do it where you do your treatments, or you could do it at fairs and within your presentations. But that is the best way for people to trial something to know if it's for them. So we've gone around the marketing world very, very brilliantly, I think. You've covered an awful lot of material. There's an awful lot to think about, and I highly recommend that you look at your marketing plans in the next few days. We gave you out a white handout that says marketing plan, name on the front, and you've all had one on your chairs. And I highly recommend that in the next week you go away and you fill that out. You decide what your marketing tools are going to be, what your marketing strategy is going to be, what your market sector is going to be, all the things that we've covered today, and you start to actually make that plan happen. And this plan is a working document for you to revise and renew and refresh and revisit and update on a regular basis. There's a couple of things on there that I need to go through with you. One is about having a mission statement. I think it's well worth having a mission statement to know where you're going. What is it you want to achieve with your therapy? The other one is the SWOT analysis, which we need to explain. That's looking at your strengths, which is the S, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So what are your strengths in terms of what you offer and your marketing? What are your weaknesses in terms of what you offer and your marketing? That's the most important thing, because that's for you to improve upon. What are your opportunities? What opportunities are coming your way? Maybe a therapist is leaving soon, or you know that somebody's retiring. That's a great opportunity. Maybe you could contact them and get some business from them. What are your threats? So for example, one of the threats for Essentials for Health would be for me to become ill. So I look at that and I make sure that it doesn't happen by looking after my health and investing in my health. And that's something for you to think about with threats to your business when you set up as a aromatherapist and massage therapist. So well done for doing great work.